Thanks for staying with us. This is Newsline, and we're talking this evening about the democracy camp in Hong Kong, whether deep divisions among the various factions is hurting the cause of democracy going up to the November District Council elections. This show, I've got to remind viewers, is not about the District Council elections, because if it was, we'd have to invite all the candidates, and that's just not possible. But just to remind you, aside from Sim Chung Kai, the vice chairman of the Democracy Party, the other person running in your constituency is David Wong, who's from the New People's Party, and he's the incumbent. Now, Christopher Lau, New People's Party chairman, you say you're not a radical group, but I think most people see that you are, because you've got Wong Yuk Man as one of your members, and you've got Albert Chan as another of your as another member of your party. These gentlemen are legislative councillors, and people know them from their behavior in the legislative council. They yell, they shout, they throw things, but that's not this issue here today. You said before the break that you're not splitting the democracy vote in the November elections. What you're doing is you're offering the voters a third choice. So the choice is either the Democratic Party, the so-called pro-establishment parties like DAB, Liberal Party, whatever. And then now you've got your people power. You say you're giving voters a third choice. But that exactly means splitting the vote among the democracy camp.
I'm not sure what does it mean by splitting the votes.
Because some people vote for you, some people vote for his party, some people vote for your party. You both don't have enough, and then the DAB wins.
Right, but does it mean that actually for those who disagree fundamentally, complete with the Democratic Party's decision to support the government's constitutional reform proposal, have to vote for the Democratic Party
in politics
without
that
running?
You compromise for the for the advancement of your cause?
Some voters will be willing to compromise, but some voters will not be voting for them anyway, even if no one is running against them. So how can we make those voters coming out to show the disagreement with the Democratic Party?
So to punish the Democratic Party, you're willing to sacrifice the cause?
Well, I'm not sure whether it is sacrificing the cause, because we don't see the Democratic Party again as the pro-democracy camp anyway. That's the first thing. Secondly, yes, to your first question, because otherwise, if we don't punish the very party who turn away from their sort of the basic cause, the basic demand in a very key government's bill, then we can have other parties turning away in the next.
First of all, if your punishment turns out that it doesn't succeed, in that the voters don't vote for your party, will vote for Sim Chung Kai's Democratic Party, will you then give up this punishment?
Well,
because the voters would have
the voters decided to give up the punishment. It's not us. We don't have the right to punish the Democratic Party anyway.
Okay. But
we offer the choice for them to punish.
Let me see the big pictures. Okay. There are 412 seats. The pan-Democrats, including the Democratic Party, Civic Party, and Livelihood, Patrick Fung's party, etc. We all together have 230 candidates. Together with LSD, they didn't join our liaisons, but we all up together is 250s. People powers, let alone the other 160 pro-establishment candidate uncontested. So they do not draw their effort to confront the pro-establishment camps. They have at least 160 seats uncontested by the
But that's not the point. That's their agenda. It's not our agenda. Our agenda is actually to punish the Democratic Party because they vote for the government's proposal. So why do we have to follow their agenda?
But the effect is, you are adding energy to the pro-establishment camp.
And the thing is,
so that's why we call them the Team B.
To contest to uncontested seats. If they're so afraid of the pro-establishment, so-called pro-establishment camp to win all the seats, they should go and contest all the seats. Why do we require a different party with a fundamental difference here to do all the things that they set for us?
We're going to move away from the district council thing because the show is not about that. I want to come back to you, Sim Chung Kai. Is the people power, this so-called punishment that the People Power Party wants to inflict on you, is that hurting the cause of democracy? in Hong
Definitely,
Kong?
yes. I
Tell
think,
me how.
Well, from all the context with the the citizens around us or the citizen general, they prefer solidarity within the pan-democrats, and the internal conflict among the pan-democrats will actually drive away voters, and people, I'm afraid, to turn out of the.
I'm not talking only about district. I'm talking about legislative council elections next year. Well, overall picture.
If you read some opinion survey, the support for all political parties dropped substantially at the moment. That is the support for political parties.
Right, but I think that the DAB, some of the pro-establishment parties are doing quite well.
Yeah. So the drop basically is related to the pro-democracy parties. So internal conflict actually reduce supports.
Okay, so you would call it internal conflict. Christopher Lau does not call it an internal conflict. Christopher Lau has branded you as traitors, your party as traitors, betraying the democratic cause.
But Michael, I have to react. Our decisions to support the reform package is well supported by the mainstream of the people.
That's the government's line.
Opinion polls show.
No,
That's the government's line.
No,
The
it's
Democratic
not.
Party ran in the 2008 Legislative Council election on the platform that actually they cannot concede anything other than 2012 universal suffrage. If they can turn away from that platform, then they can turn anytime, anywhere on anything.
2012 universal suffrage was not achievable.
Yes, then that's the thing. Then if they turn away that, if they are not voting for the government proposal, how can they expect other people to treat them still like a democratic party?
We must react. If you're asking or none, if it is not or, then you have to reject that.
That's the very thing.
Yeah, but
That's he's saying what he's saying is the Democratic Party in approving the political reforms was a half step forward. You're saying if you don't get 2012 universal suffrage, you're not even going to take the half step forward.
Not really. I'm talking about actually the Democratic Party betraying their platform. Actually, the then League of Social Democrats and the Civic Party, they resigned from 5 of the legislators. They resigned from their office and got duly re-elected, and got the new mandate that actually they don't demand the universal suffrage on 2012 anymore, but a genuine universal suffrage somehow, sometime before 2020. And that was actually the platform. And actually the Democratic Party, weeks before the voting of the constitutional reform, they have the 3 insistence. They had the same.
Achieving 5 seats is a step forward in democracy because people got another
That's
vote.
one thing. Then we have to go back to talk to the chief executive election. In the 2005 constitutional reform package, there will be 1,600 election committees, and actually
now it's 1,200.
That's not the important. The important is that actually the 2005 package actually includes all 400 directly elected district councillors.
I'm going to have to give Sin Chagao because I've got just a few minutes left. You were going to say something.
Yes, imagine if we rejected the package last year, what happens? The only thing that will happen is the current package will remain. I mean, the current political system will remain for another 4 or 5 years.
Right.
So there's hardly any, change, any improvement.
Tell me this: because of the fight that's been going on, do you feel that parties like the People Power Party have become too radical in Hong Kong? Because they are seen as the people who wear masks and throw things.
No, we're not.
Not your party. We had a group here that last week that said that they were wearing the masks. Yeah. But have these parties like LSD, People Power, have they become too radical?
Hong Kong is an open society. We have to have a wide political spectrum. I do think a radical party can gain support from a certain percentage of the voters. But I do think that if we are aiming for the same goal, we need to, at a certain stage, to cooperate and work together for democracy.
You can't work together with
No,
him,
we
you're
cannot,
saying.
because that what he's saying is actually the moderate path is the only path, and we disagree. We disagree
But the radical
completely.
path is not also the only path.
Well, of course, so we put to the voters and decide which one should be the correct, which is the correct
So
path.
you think the radical path is the correct path?
I'm not sure whether it is the correct path, but we have to put to the voters and offer them a third choice.
You know,
to choose.
I respect these strategies. If People's Power is fielding candidate for legislative council elections next year, because that is one multi-system single vote systems, and that can that is a good opportunity to put to the people's choice. But for district council elections, that is the way to hurt the Democrats and help the establishment.
Who are the Democrats?
Okay, I'm going to have to. Who are the Democrats? Okay, I thought both of you were, but I'm going to have to end the show right there. Before we end, once again, the show wasn't about the district council elections, but running in your constituency is David Wong from the New People's Party, and he is the incumbent. Thank you both for being here. See you next week. Good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.